Hey everybody, Mark here with Trophy Trail Outdoors. Guys, I wanted to go over a few of the plants that we have in the nursery that we'll have available for next year and how to keep them and maintain them. So a lot of people, when they go to, like, you go to Lowe's or you'll go to these different places and they try to sell you plants that look like this, and there's two little stalks coming off of it, and that's great and everything, but the deer will eat these down in no time. Okay, so early spring, if you do buy some of these from a local box store or something like that, make sure that you clip them back early. That way they look like this early in the spring. There's like 10 shoots coming off of this, and each shoot will put on this many leaves. Okay, so a whitetail is going to take these out. These are red oyster dogwoods, and this is like cotton candy to deer. Okay, they love these. They go crazy over them. So the biggest thing to remember is the more limbs you have, the more obviously vegetation they'll have to eat. Okay, so if you cut them back like I did in early spring. Actually, I cut this one back about a month ago, and this is already what it looks like. It looked like this. I cut it back, and it generated so many more limbs and so much more growth off of that main stalk. So definitely, if you're going to plant red oyster dogwoods, cut them back real good and make them look like this. That way, whenever they come out, they have 10 different ones. And then every year, the whitetail is going to just eat them and eat them and eat them. They're going to trim them back. So the first year, you're going to want to cage these or put pallets over them. There is holes in the pallets and stuff. Light can get through. You'll be fine. Believe me, if you put a little bit of fertilizer on this or something like that, they will go crazy. And by year 2, the roots will be established. The whitetail deer are going to eat them all down, but they will keep growing back. Believe me, this is definitely, if it wasn't for the whitetail deer, it would almost be a nuisance plant. It grows so well. But also, we have chestnuts. Guys, this chestnut tree, it didn't turn out real good. So we have about 30 of these or something like that every year that they just don't grow right. So we'll just plant them out here, and if they live, they live. If they don't, they don't. But we'll have quite a few chestnut trees for you next year. We're looking at about 600 to 800 trees that will be this tall by deer season of next year. So if you guys are interested, make sure that you keep in contact with us, and we'll be doing a bunch of giveaways with plants and stuff like that. I know whenever you go to the store and you try to buy a chestnut tree, if they have them, like 30, 40 bucks. I mean, yeah, you'll get some that are this tall, but that's the thing about chestnuts is they grow really fast. Height wise, they get that tall, but it takes a couple years for them to produce nuts. So you definitely got to cage these, or else the whitetail they'll trim them up for you. These are the Green Giant Arborvitae, guys. Green Giant Arborvitae. This is a year 1. You guys can see, I think you can see the color change from down here, up here, from right here up. That's all brand new growth from this year. I rooted this year, and these were cuttings. We rooted them. So this is year 1. They grew about 3 or 4 inches in year 1. This is year 2. Okay. Actually, well, this isn't even 1 year. This is just the summer. Okay. So we started these in March, and this is what it looks like. This right here was started March of last year, and this is what it looks like. So really, this one is about 1.5 years old. This one is about 6 months old, give or take. And this one's the same thing. The great thing about Green Giant Arborvitae, guys, is they grow really fast. So you're looking at they grow about 3 feet every year. So once they're established, you put them in the ground, they get established. This time next year, they may grow another 1/2 foot, trying to get those roots established. But the year after that, they're going to grow another 3 feet. And you figure this is already 18 inches, another, a foot next year. And then after that, they explode. You're going to have all the cover that you can possibly think of. And when I say they grow, 3 feet a year, I'm not just talking about up. I'm talking about like this limb right here. It'll shoot out here. All these limbs will shoot out here. And the best thing about it is if you plant these about, 5 feet apart, you'll have a wall within just a couple years. And the whitetail, if you have enough browse for a whitetail, or you put in a good food plot, you have nuts, whatever, 9 chances out of 10, they're not going to eat these because they're not ideal. They're rough, but they will eat them. I'm not saying, I know you go to Lowe's, you go to Home Depot, and they're all like, oh, these are deer resistant. Nothing is deer resistant. Okay. That's just a lie. Let's just throw that out there. But yes, guys. So we do have, like I said, we're going to have about 600 to 800 chestnuts next year. We'll have a ton of the red oyster dogwoods. Like I said, that's like cotton candy for a whitetail. And what we're trying to do, guys, is not so much sell, trying to just try to get you guys familiar with the different things that you can do. You don't always have to go out and get the throw and grow, the no-till stuff. You know, there's a lot of work that is involved in that, and a lot of people miss food plots. They miss planting them, or the time of year, or they will get them in, but they get them in late and they don't grow. So then you're just sitting there in a stand, or you'll go and, you know, get deer nuggets, golden deer nuggets, and throw those out. So that's my thing, guys, is, you know, the conservation's making it hard on all of us. Before too long, they'll probably tell us we can't plant food plots, and they're, you know, they're going to keep us from doing a lot of different things. You know, all you're trying to do is give the deer something to eat. You're doing way more conservation than what the, you know, conservation department is. I know I'm here in Missouri. They don't plant anything for the whitetail. They don't do anything for the whitetail. So guys, be a good steward of the land. And like I said, if you want to actually have whitetail stick around, that's the other thing. When rut comes, these deer are going to go where the food's at. Okay, the bucks are going to go where the does are at. So if you have, you know, like I said, these things, you can honestly, I could take this right here, cut it off, and stick it in wet, you know, in the wet dirt, you know, early spring, and 9 chances out of 10, this red oyster dogwood will root, and you'll have 2 plants. You just got to put a cage around it. There's so many different things that you guys can do. You can take clippings off of these in the wintertime, stick them down in dirt or sand. I would stick them in sand, and they'll root, you know, throughout the year. You don't mess with them. You just put them in the shade, and, you know, these things will root. I mean, there's just so many different things that you guys can do, so you don't have to keep spending money on all this stuff, and you'll be great. The deer will love it a lot more than a food plot that only comes up halfway and dies out, or a food plot. If you guys do have a lot of deer, you know just as good as well as I do that if you have 10 or 15 deer, a small little kill plot isn't going to last forever. It's not going to last very long at all. So if you don't get your deer early, you're not going to get them. So definitely look into this. If you have any questions, get with us, and we will definitely answer them as best we can. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you guys coming. Thanks, guys.